Hello everyone, how are you guys doing today? Welcome to the Thai Life. My name is Min. I am a nail technician for 15 plus years, and my goal is to share with you all my knowledge, all my experience so that I can help you advance in your nail industry. And today I really want to focus on acrylic application. What is acrylic application and why is it so hard? Well shoot, as a beginner's nail tech, it is hard because you don't know how to control the brush. You don't know the ratio of the monomer to pick up with your brush, what size brush to use, what kind of acrylic to use, what type of monomer. I mean, there's so much thing going on when it comes to application. And some of individual might say, oh, that's the easy part. But not for everybody, okay? Not for everybody. When I was growing up as a nail technician at 18 years old, trust me, I didn't even do acrylic application 2 years into the nail industry. I was so scared. I was so nervous. And especially, I didn't know anything about the nail industry. But today is a different story, y'all. I have been doing it for so long. I'm so good at it. And I'm so comfortable at it. And my clients just love the way I do application on their nails. And by the end of this video, my goal is for you to be very, very comfortable when it comes to application. My goal for you by the end of this video is to understand what type of monomer that I'm using, what kind of powder I prefer, and really how to pick up a perfect bead and how to apply the acrylic onto the nail perfectly. Are you guys ready? Because I am so excited for y'all. Let's get it. So when it comes to acrylic application, before we talk about the technique of the application, let's talk about the monomers, the powder, and the brush size. Those three things is what's gonna make your job a lot easier. The monomers, are you using good monomers or some knockoff brand with MMA chemical in it? For those of you who don't know what's MMA, that is a very harmful chemical to be sitting in your nails, because those are made for dentistry, to make dentures so that it doesn't break their fake teeth. Imagine if you put that on the client's nails. If the clients accidentally break the tips, it's not going to just break the tips. It's going to break their whole natural nails, and that can really becomes a big damage. And you don't want none of that, okay? So the monomers that I am using today is Young Nail monomers, and if I am not using the Young Nail monomer, I do use the CND Retention. These two monomers are EMA monomers, which they're made for the client's nails, okay? Yes, they are a little bit more expensive, but trust me, the reason why I like to use these two monomers is because how buttery it is. When you pick up the bead, it's so much easier. When you're laying the acrylic onto the nails, it gives you so much time to really shift the acrylic. The knockoff monomers sometimes dries too fast, sometimes gets hot on the client's nails, and on top of that, sometimes clients are allergic to the MMA. It can give clients blister on their cuticle area. So none of that, guys. Use the best brand such as Young Nail or CND, and I know there's other good brands out there. It's just I haven't used the other because as a nail tech, whatever I am comfortable using, I'm going to continue using that because there's so many brands and it costs you a lot of money to try every single one of them, right? Next is the acrylic. Acrylic does play a big part when you are using color acrylic. For example, if you are using dark color acrylic, purple, black, if you notice, they tend to be more drippy, so they're harder to use. So you have to know how to pick up the right ratio, right? And if you are using a light color acrylic, it's kind of chalky. So that's the thing that you have to notice when you are doing application. You can't just go in at it and expect the bead to be perfect. Those are the two things that you have to understand. Is it drippy or is it chalky, right? And if you are using clear powder, make sure that powder is clear. It doesn't have any type of cloud or any type of bubble in it. So those are the very important things you are looking for when it comes to clear powder. Young Nail has a good clear powder. I have tried Mia Secret. The only thing I find in Mia Secret that their powder sometimes makes my brush sticks together, and that can damage my brush very fast. Lastly is your brush. Your brush is so important, okay? Your brush is what makes the whole sculpting and building of the acrylic, okay? So you have to know what size you are comfortable with. When I was younger, I came up from the industry. Every single nail tech was using 18 and above. And it's almost like if you're using anything lower than 18, you're not good enough. But today is different. I feel like with color acrylic trending so hard, you're able to do so much design on color acrylic. Sometimes it's important that we have different size acrylic brush to make sure that we execute the design perfectly, right? So the brush is very important. And the brush size that I am using today is a size 14. A lot of my colleagues, they like to use 12 and 10. 14 works for me, and I also have other size brush that I use for acrylic art. So now the next thing that we want to talk about is the ratio, like how much monomers are we picking up? Well, that also depends on the size of your brush. If you have a small brush, you know you won't be able to pick up a big bead. If you have a big brush, you're able to pick up a bigger bead due to how much monomers is able to suck into the brush, okay? Back in the day, everybody's talking about one ball method, two ball method. You know, honestly, there is no such thing at this moment. I can do a one ball method, but sometimes it all depends on the fingernails that I am dealing with. If you are doing fingernails that are so long, there's no way you can fill the whole nail with one ball and make sure the apex is correct. And if you can, kudos to you. But personally, me, I like to take my time. I don't like to rush. I like to relax when I'm doing the application part because it's very therapeutic when you are doing this part because the clients just love the creation of you sculpting their nails, right? So when you notice how I pick up the brush is that every time I pick up the brush, I always tap my brush side to side so that I can get off the extra monomer that's in my brush. I like to play it safe than have it too wet. I rather have it kind of like consistently form into the acrylic versus it's a very drippy bead. That's very important for me when I pick up a bead. If you are picking up a bead where it's too dry, then you want to just throw that bead away. What I usually do if I pick up a bead, I always look at it. It becomes a habit where I look at the bead and I can see the formation. And if I notice that the formation is very slowly, I kind of just throw that away. But I feel like the formation just like perfectly, like where if you count like 3 seconds and it's already forming into that nice bead and you're able to put on the client's nails, that's when you know you pick up a good bead. But when it's too dry, that's when you need a little bit more monomers. And it does take a little bit test here and there to pick up the right ratio of monomers, okay? And here's the thing, guys. When you guys are picking up the bead, just look at the client's fingernails. If you're dealing with some really big fingernails, make sure you add a lot of monomers on those, right? It all depends. So let's just look at this finger that I am doing, okay? I'm going to pick up the bead. I kind of look at it and I'm going to go in and I kind of slant my brush sideways. I know some people kind of bring it up and down. After I put the bead down, I focus on just pushing the acrylic towards the cuticle area, okay? I'm just pushing slowly and I'm kind of working side to side. I'm not going to pat it yet. I'm just kind of move around where I'm fitting the nails. Once I am satisfied, okay, once I'm satisfied with that, I'm going to clean my brush. And what I'm going to do is, while my brush is dry, is able to clean off all the asset that's around the cuticle. And if I am going to pat it where I'm not taking off too much of the acrylic, I'm going to dip my brush in with the monomers so that I have a wet brush. And when you have a wet brush, you just kind of pat it. And when you pat it, the chemical is just going to work itself. You know, it's like you don't really have to put in too much effort, okay? That's how you do the application. And at this point, once you fill up the nail with the acrylic, it's really simple. You just got to build your apex. So you can add a little bit more acrylic towards the cuticle and you kind of build your apex as you go. But throughout this whole process, I'm just focusing on a smooth surface with a good apex. Why? It's because you want a smooth surface to begin with so that you don't have to work hard with the E-file going in and trying to recreate the formation and all that, you know? And as you guys can see, I'm still not satisfied with the thickness of the apex. I'm gonna go in just a little bit more, and really the apex does not have to be thick. It just depends on the client's nail, what they do, how they function. Those are the things you really have to look at, and you have to understand when it comes to customer service. I'm just continue cleaning, making sure that it's nice and clean. Why? Is because I'm dealing with white color acrylic. What's that mean? It means if I am going to get this powder too drippy, it can melt all over the skin. It just doesn't look right, okay? So as you can see, that forefinger is looking good. The next one, let's talk about how I am holding her thumb. That is so important, guys. When you guys are holding the client's hand in application, make sure they are not tense. Make sure you are comfortable, and make sure you see how my thumb and my fingers kind of moving her thumb left to right. Make sure that's how relaxed she is. The reason why I'm moving left to right, because I don't want to move my whole body on one end to another end just to apply the application. Let's say if I need her nail to be shifted a certain way, I just have to move her thumb left or right. And what I usually do is I like to hold my finger kind of slanted down so that I'm giving the acrylic a chance to really fall into the nails. What I'm trying to say is, like, these techniques, y'all just gotta like make what's easy for you guys and just have fun. It's not hard at all. There's really no one ball or two ball. Just do what really works for you, and always clean the bottom of the nails, guys. Always. Look how clean that thumb look, you know. And if you want to add more apex, which I probably will, I'm gonna add some more, but I'm constantly keeping the side cuticle clean. And look how I'm just maneuvering her thumb back and forth, guys. Very simple. Clients gonna love the art. They're gonna see how you do it, and they're gonna be like very impressed how you do it. And look how throughout the whole process, you notice I didn't get none of the white onto her nails, because I'm constantly focusing on cleaning the side, making sure the acrylic is formed nicely, always making sure the surface is nice and smooth. And look at that, guys. I mean, this client right here, she was loving, because she just loved the fact that it's beautiful. Look how nice that look. It's clean. I flush a cuticle, I shape it up, and that shape was right there because I pre-shaped that. So that's how simple it is, guys, to really do application. It's not hard at all. I know back in the day, people would be like, oh, one ball, two. You know, honestly, like I say, do what works for you. And I hope that you have learned something in this videos. And if you do, please really like this videos and subscribe to the channel. That really helps me out. And if you really want to learn how to build a good sculpting on the client's nails, check out this video. Check out this video. It's gonna teach you how to do all of that sculpting. Have a good one. I'm see you next time.